G'day, welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's a day late. We are going to be looking at map 3. This is the third part in our 4-part series about the Champions 2022 Grand Final. We're on to Breeze now, and I thought this was a really interesting map. There was a lot of mistakes made through this map, and something that I think is a very interesting stat is if we come over to the VLR, we can see that there was 15 defensive rounds won, and 12 of them were by defusal. So obviously we had a lot of hard time holding sites once we got the plant down. There's a few different factors that come into that, but today we're going to look at a couple of rounds where those site retakes were effective for the defending team and how Loud and Optic might have been able to improve those situations, and a couple of rounds on top of that as well. So let's get into the first round. And by the first round, I mean round 3. We have Optic starting on defense. They've won the pistol and the second round, so now they're playing their bonus against Loud's full buy. You can see we got 2 rifles in the hand of Optic. They've got the Bulldog as well, and so let's get into it. We've got Loud starting looking towards the B site, and we've got just 5 oh, pardon me. And we just have a 5-man push up towards B to start with. You're going to catch a couple there with the knife, and Yay looking to get an early pick. He does that, he gets traded out. So I like this play from Yay. You know, you're on the gun disadvantage, so trying to get it back a little bit. And this is where Marv on the KO, I think, you know, he's much more comfortable on that controller role. So seeing him on the KO is a little bit of a nerf to Marv, but Loud, you can see they get into sight really easily. They take out both Yay and Marv who are on site. Now they're in a 3v4 situation. Spike goes down, and all of a sudden it's a 4v2. Finesse there gets a little bit aggressive, trying to make a play. The wall drops on him, and he gets taken out. So 4v2 here for Loud, and I just want you to pay attention to the map here. So look at where all of the Loud players are looking right now. As you can see, Crashies has been able to make his way all the way in behind Aspas here. Let's replay this from the map's perspective. FNS gets caught making that aggressive play. And then look at this positioning. Crashies has made this perfect little play, and he's found a gap in Loud's defense. Les has a trip here, but he's looking this way. Sassy is looking this way. Aspas is watching this angle, and Pancada's watching for the push down elbow, right? So this is great from Pancada, but if Aspas is holding this angle, one of these two need to be holding this. I like Sassy holding this angle because that allows him to trade Aspas if you know, Victor or someone pushes down this way. But Les has a trip here. Why is he holding this? Why isn't he watching this and just playing off of the trip? Who knows? But as you can see, Crashies gets this beautiful little lurk in, and he goes 1, 2, 3. Great shots from Crashies. Victor picks up Les in the back corner as well. So, you know, it's great shooting. It's amazing shooting from Crashies, but it's the positioning that gets him into that position to allow him to get that. And there's just a huge hole in Loud's defense that allows this retake to happen. These kind of things should not be happening at this level, where there's just a whole section of the site which isn't being watched by someone. One other small adjustment that you could make is if Pancada, instead of playing here, plays in this corner, that would give him just enough line of sight, I'll try and draw it, to see this cross. It's hard to see on the angle, but in that corner you can see past this box, and so he would have seen Crashies come past, but that's not his role. That's not his role in this scenario. Aspas, Sassy, and Les all need to figure out that, or all need to be aware that there's this massive gap in the site. Coming into round 12, we have a huge advantage for Optic. We have a Coming into round 12, we have a huge advantage for Loud. They've got all 5 ultimates and a complete full buy against Optic, who don't even have shields on Marv, light shields on everyone. Yay still has the operator in his hands. And so I really like this setup from Optic. They get Yay into this really close corner, and he's going to be watching doors with the operator. Finesse is going to be looking down into A main from this little stairs angle, which is a really, really strong peek. And Marv here is here to play the knife to deny any Viper wall entry and play for info. Gonna get a default here from Loud. And so this is a really nice setup. So Aspas is just creeping up, and Marv isn't even looking, and somehow flicks and turns on him. I'm not sure what Marv was looking at there. He had the door open, had the door closed, so don't know if he was lucky, but the setup is nice. And then we get the drone come out. The drone misses Yay. Doesn't clear that close corner. He gets the pick and he gets out. So all of a sudden we're back to an advantage for Optic. They've got a 5v3 situation. All they need to do is play together and it should be a good round for them. But there's no one watching mid. Victor gets just picked off, pushing out of sight. Les is going to get all the information that they need. B's open. Just need to deal with crashes. He wins that duel. Misses the cage there, unfortunately. He's down to 11 health. And all of a sudden, it's back to a 3v3 because crashes and Victor give their lives away. And then look at this. This is a position that needs to be played by more people. This spot from Pancada is amazing. I don't think he even plays this perfectly here. He could have been more patient. But just watch. He's about to get crunched. He hears Marv. He sees Finesse. He swings onto Marv as well. Managed to get the kill. Yay has to go for the jumping op peak. Misses on Les. And then a perfect double swing from Loud to close out the round. Now, you could argue they should try and play for time against the operator, but it's such a good double swing that it doesn't matter. If you're going to double swing that well, you can double swing every time and not play for time. If you're going to double swing that well, I think that's a percentage play, especially considering how low health Les was. As you can see, Optic had this great setup on A. I don't know if Aspas like whiffed on Finesse and Finesse hit a crazy flick shot on him, or if Finesse was holding that angle. It didn't look like he was holding it when Aspas looked, or he got a little bit lucky potentially. But then Yay gets that pick as well. So they're in a 3v5. In that situation, I would just be giving them B site, and then we just play a 3v5 retake, and that's going to be super hard to hold for the attackers. All right, so our next round is round 17. It's 8 all. A bit of an awkward buy for Loud here. And so I just want to take this round because it kind of highlights the disjointedness that both teams sort of played with in this game, but it's specifically Optic in this round. So we're going to start with Finesse firing off 2 like execute mollies for like a site execute, and then they don't even make it out of cave. So I don't know if this was designed to be a fake. 3 of them get caught by the KO knife. But surely with that kind of thing, you would be firing them as you're bursting out to site, not as you're running up toward the entry of site. It's just little things like that which can really change the whole round, because if they come out and they burst onto site, the 2 important spots that Loud can't play from that Optic can just take advantage of. But so 2 mollies down and wasted. And we get this mid aggression here from Aspas. Like this mid control. This can be a really strong spot to play from. And Yay gets aggressive trying to get the kill, and Les is there to support Aspas and get the actual counter pick onto Yay. And Victor's crept up halls. We open up the door and he gets Pancada, and now they have sight, right? Or do they? We get this really nice peek from Sadak here, which just makes Optic have to think about things, and they get completely disjointed. So now Victor's in the back of sight alone, 1 HP. Crash is in the middle of sight, and Marv and Finesse are caught at the site entry. They have to deal with the dart. Eventually, this orb gets thrown to block off stairs, and they're able, this one here, and they're able to cross into sight and get the plant down. But that's like a whole extra 10 seconds that STACK has just delayed just by peeking and then playing safe and waiting for his team to come through. Now Les is creeping up. Eventually we're going to get onto site. And because Ye died hunting a kill, he got too aggressive. The Trip isn't watching the flank anymore. So we've got 2 players coming through main. No one's currently watching it, right? This is Marv just going to turn down and get a peek here, but get a kill here. But Finesse almost was exposed to this angle. I'm sure he was aware of it. I'll give him the credit. Marv then peeks it. Aspas is 1 HP, so he dies. Again, Aspas could have just waited here. It's not going to make a difference if he just waits for Sassy to come here, and then they can just 1-2 and Marv gets traded out there. So more discoordination. But now Optic has sight in a 4v3 scenario. I don't know why Victor is playing here. This is such an awkward spot, I think, to play. Like, playing here, I think it's much better if you play this little rat position right here. Finesse can be like holding this, and then you could swing trade this, and then like Marvs and Crashes could come, like they could be watching this, or like they could play for doors, or they could like swing this way. They know that Sadak's here, so yeah, it's all just, I think they get themselves into these really weird positions where they have no cover. And this is like the hard thing about A side. It is hard to hold because there's not many great positions to play. But there you go. Crashes gets caught, and Marv gets caught as well because Sassy pushes in right at the same time as Les and Sadak. And the coordination from Loud there. Let's just watch this on the map. Look at this. Sadak's just jiggling. He's jumping around. And then Les gets the orange. And Sassy swings. And so Les gets 1. Sassy gets 1. Victor's in no man's land. And now Finesse has got 3 to deal with. He tries to get the isolated fight with Sassy. But look, Sadak was already here, ready to trade it as well. Great coordination on that final push of the retake there from Loud. All right, final round of regulation time. It's round 24. Optic is on match point to go 2-1 up in the series. And they're going to suffer from what I think I want to start calling an Optic peak, where the players, I think it's in sort of not the heat of the moment, but they get lost in the moment. Their communication breaks down. I'm not sure what it is, but Optic, when crunch time is on, when it's time to clutch up in these early round situations, in the mid round, even so, I think in the late round, a lot of their players are really good in clutch situations, especially like Ye, Crashies, Marv, all really good in the clutch. But in these mid round scenarios where they're trying to make something happen, they too often get caught just doing something solo. So Loud has they have 3 Bulldogs, 1 rifle, and an op here in this last round. So a bit of an advantage here for Optic. All they have to do is try and pick apart the defense. And here we have 2 ops just staring at each other. I love this setup from Aspas, going for this mid control again. Optic are aware of it. And so Ye is just holding, waiting for that aggression. Aspas and Ye being very, very patient. We get the dart from Crashes, which is going to clear Aspas out. He's got to get out now. So he smokes. He gets his sheriff. He gets out. It's a great flash from Marv to blind him. And Victor's unable to get the kill. So I just want to look at the positioning here of Optic before we get into the next part. So Optic are they have 2 decisions here. One, they can like force down this op because, you know, Aspas has just had to die out. They could keep util dumping him and like just force the play on the op and go really, really fast. If that's the case, these 2 players need to be up here as they push doors, right? So Ye needs to be like holding a deep angle into sight, and Crashies needs to be like droning in and finding these sort of plays. Finesse is on this lurk, and I think if this is an A push, Finesse is more than fine to lurk here as long as these players are pushing in with these players. If that's not the case and they want to push over to B, then these players obviously can't be here. They need to be over toward B. And so we've already got a rotation coming in toward A, and Loud's committing to hold A, right? What do Optic do? Optic say, all right, let's freeze. Let's get our players into this position to attack A. And then Marv just does an Optic peek. He knows this was the last seen location of Aspas with an operator. He just slow walks into it. And that's the freest kill Aspas has had this entire series. This is less free. He hits an insane shot on Ye, and then Crashies just dry peeks into him as well. He hits an amazing shot on Crashies, one of the best shots of the series. That one, just a moving, perfect knife flick. And then look at this position compared to the other round. Was it round 12? Yeah, round 12, where in this position, Crashies died here in round 12, and Victor died here. Look at where Les is. Les is like, you can have sight. This is a, like, even in a 4v5, even in a 3v5, it's a 2v5. Les is like, I have it. I'll play this super ratty angle. If they come this way, great. They're going to have to waste time pushing all the way in to clear me out. He gets both. But yeah, just a much better defense from Loud, but a really sloppy attack from Optic, and they force into overtime and they end up losing this map and yada yada yada. But it's just these Optic peaks, man. It cost them. It cost them. I feel like that's been the story of the series, is that when Optic play their best, they look unbeatable. But part and parcel with that is comes these Optic peaks. All right, there we have part 3 of the series. The last part will come out tomorrow. Sorry that this one is a day late and I kind of had to rush and put this one together, but I think I still made some good points nonetheless. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Like the video. It really, really helps. Subscribe if you want to see the rest of the series or the last part of the series and more content coming up after Champions. I've got more analysis planned as well as some more just general Valorant content too. So thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow.